You are quite a disruptive force in financial services. Financial services in Canada dominated by a few large banks, and then a few sort of intermediary fintechs are emerging. Now, you show up with a very different strategy, helping companies be more organized and maximize their expenses and their capital. How did you think of disruption?
My co-founders, fortunately, even when I met them, they had already been working through like a V1 of the product. So when I saw it and I used it, I thought, this is the beginning of something great. And we had customers, prospective customers, who said, if you build this, I'll pay for it and I'll use it because I really want it. And I think that customers solve all problems. Like any fear, anxiety you have about a market opportunity, if you just look at spreadsheets and do market studies, you're not going to work up the courage. When you go to customers and you sit in their office and say, here's a product, does this solve your problem? Like, is this actually a game changer? And people say, not only is it a game changer, but if you build it, I'll use it. And here are 20 other things I'd love for you to build that I'm really frustrated about. You walk out of those meetings and you go, I feel more confident, and now I feel like I have an obligation that we need to do this. And so it's building anything is hard, it's scary, there's lots of uncertainty, but the principles that we talked about, and I think still are core to who we are speed. We're gonna operate and innovate quickly. With our customers, we're going to give them the best customer service they've ever had. Like we have a saying here at Float, not tomorrow, today, not next week, this week. The idea is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, customers are doing business. Like there's no work hours, there's no holidays. People, especially that are running small businesses, it's always on. The idea of, reach out to us between 9 and 5, or why don't you swing by the branch? We hated that. And so we said from the beginning, we're going to meet customers where they are, which is mostly online. We're going to provide them with the best customer service in the industry. We're going to respond to them in 1 minute or less. We're going to innovate and build products really quickly. And we're going to recruit a team that is deeply, deeply customer obsessed and is going to work backwards from ideal customer experiences and then build the business, as opposed to, let's create a risk team and let's create a compliance team and let's create a marketing team and then we'll figure out how to jumble it together and sell it to people. And I think that those principles are still very much central to what we're doing. Early on, we launched our product, we got it out into market, and we got our first round of feedback. We brought on, I think, our first 60 customers. And I don't know that it was like a crisis, but like we started to see the blemishes in our product. We launched it. It was really meant for very, very small businesses. And we started to move up market and sell to larger and larger businesses. And we were able to get the sale done. But what happened was 60 days later, then the blemishes showed up. Like, oh, well, I can't use this with 60 people. This is maybe for 5 people, 5-person company. Those hurt. And they're embarrassing, and they create fear and anxiety, and they make you question your decision making. And but I think what I've learned through all this stuff is these things are going to happen. It's not the avoidance of them happening. It's actually how you show up the next day. How can we learn from this? What can we do about this? We had moments in time where we grew our team too quickly. In 2022, we grew our team quite a bit. 2023, the end of 2023, we found a couple of parts of our business that were just not working that well. And while we were growing and we had capital, we just said, we got to pull back here. And we restructured some of our teams. I stood up in front of the company and said, these are some areas that things are just not working. And we got to take a step back and nail these motions before we hire 10, 20 people to do them. And those moments suck. There's I still feel that, but that's where entrepreneurs live. You live in the suck. And the reality is, as an entrepreneur, and if you're building a business, you don't need to get everything right. You need to get your product right most times. You need to get the people right. And you need to get your values right. And then you just need to give a damn. And that means that I'll give you another example. We rolled out, Float was building so quickly, we didn't even have a billing system. So we actually told customers, this is what it costs to use Float. We had no way to collect it. So this is 2020, early 2022 maybe, or maybe it was, early 2022. We said, we're rolling out a billing system. And the team was like, yeah, we're going to charge. And I said, we're not charging customers? And it's like, no, just like they've agreed to pay this price. And I'm like, well, damn, this is bad. So we launched this new billing system. I remember the engineer that came onto the team to launch it. It went out and it was a total mess. It emailed a bunch of our customers the wrong numbers. It pissed them all off. We got really sensitive about that. Trust with customers is important. And I remember that night, it was like Friday at 8 p.m. and it's like, this is a total mess. And 20 of us got on a call and it was like, we're all working through the weekend. That's it. We'll get through the bottom. We'll get to the bottom of it. Every single customer we're going to reach out to, we're going to explain what happened, we're going to apologize, we're going to make it right, and then we got to fix this billing system and we need to relaunch it. And that's one of those moments where you go, there's no hours, there's no days, there's no weekends. This is our reputation. And this is a moment that we have potentially, broken trust with some of our customers. And I think that's the kind of attitude you kind of always have to have, because those moments happen.